channel, The Inked Reader. Today I am filming my October TBR. I am gonna update you on any book that I might be carrying over from September when I do my wrap up, just because I'm filming this a couple of days before the end of the month. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna carry over. I'm pretty sure there are gonna be a few, but I don't know how many exactly. And also I apologize for the light, but unfortunately I don't get home enough in time for me to film with natural light, so I just had to use the lights of the room. So it's not gonna be ideal, and I apologize for that, but we have to work with what we have at the moment. So without further ado, I'm gonna go through the 9 TBR prompts I have and what I'm gonna read for that. There are 2 random picks and we're gonna figure out together with jars, which are mugs, but you know what I mean. So let's keep the jars for last. Let's start with all the other prompts. So for the Disco Award, I cannot believe I just got 3 books left in the whole series, and I'm gonna read Snuff. This is book, I don't know, probably 40 something. And it's part of the City Guard sub-series in the Disco Award, which is a fantasy, humoristic fantasy, very famous series by Terry Pratchett. It's a series that I have been loving. It's got around 41 to 42 books in total, and I just got 3 left, not considering the novellas in between. So I just read the main books and I'm almost done with it. Hopefully by the end of the year it will be done. I love these editions. When I'm going to do the video about the Disco Award, once I'm done with all the series, I'm going to give you a lot of details on the Disco Award and where you can purchase these books. I mean, you can find some on Amazon, but also you can support the local store that I think it's made by one of the family member of Terry Pratchett, if I'm not mistaken, and they sell books and gadgets and merchandise, and I love supporting them because they're a small store. So I get all of these awesome covers by them. And this is the last book in the City Guards sub-series. It's time to, you know, tidy up stuff, I guess. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much tidy up he has done because he passed away probably before actually completing the series. So I don't know if we had any closure, but it's nice for me to know that this is the last book in the series, because I'm gonna say goodbye to beloved characters. I am actually done with my horror TBR, the official TBR that I had put up on my channel. I've read the last book in September and I'm gonna wrap that up, going through my least favorite to my most favorite, probably around Halloween, end of the month, as there are some good recommendations. But I do have an honorable mention because I'm gonna read The Hands That Pulls You Under. This was very kindly sent to me by the author himself. This is coming out in November and I wanted to review it toward Halloween time, just in time for the release. And also it's perfect for the spooky season. It's perfect because I had finished my TBR, so I needed another horror in, so I got these, and this is a collection of short stories. I don't know anything about the singular stories, but once I've read it, I might be able to give you a better synopsis around what each story entails, or if there is a general theme to them. So thank you again for the author to sending me this in exchange for an honest review, and I'm gonna wrap this up at the end of the month. For the Japanese horror instead, I am gonna read out these. I purchased these on my Kindle just because it was so much cheaper. It was like £1.99. So I'm gonna read these on my commute probably. And I have absolutely zero idea about the plot behind these. I'm gonna read 2 books by this author, so I really hope that this is gonna be a win, otherwise I'm gonna hate probably having to read another one. And I don't know, apart from it's a horror thriller, from the cover it gives me the vibe of like following a serial killer or stuff, but I have no idea, I could be totally wrong. I'll give you a synopsis once I actually get around to read it, because usually when I get them on my Kindle I don't tend to look at the synopsis, which is silly, but it's what I do. So, and to stay in the vibe of creepy, eerie stuff, for my non-fiction pick, I decided to pick up Postmortem, and this is Life and Death Behind Mortuary Doors. So I think she worked as it says here pathology technician and curator. To me it sounds like she's kind of a mortician, but I might be wrong. She might be more like a doctor. I don't know anything about specific roles in the mortuary and what's going on, although I've read some series like the Case Carpetta one, which is a thriller series when she's a mortician, but she's also a pathologist. So I guess she might be the same. She might be a pathologist or a doctor or a technician that works in the mortuary, and she worked there for 10 years and she is gonna recount what she experienced during those 10 years. This sounded very familiar to Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, which I read early on in the year, and although I love the writing in itself, I found that very upsetting and disturbing. I don't know why. So I'm hoping that from this I'll get less freaked out, but I might get actually even more freaked out, which is perfect for the month. Not so great for my sleeping, because when you read books like this, you know, this is actually happening. Like, these are real dead bodies, and well, we are all gonna be dead one day. So it freaks me out because it's true. So let's see if I enjoyed these. I love the cover as well. Like, I think it's so pretty, like the details on this, so nice. For my true crime, just because I like failing my TBRs miserably, I am gonna pick up Helter Skelter by Vincent Bugliosi, and this is kind of a chunky one, and it's a very famous non-fiction true crime book, and it's the story of Charlie Manson and the Manson murders. I've heard amazing things. I've heard that, you know, if you're into crime, which I definitely am, I cannot skip this, and it's time for me to read it. It's chunky, but it's on my TBR, so it had to happen before the end of the year. And I guess it also gives me like very creepy, eerie, I mean, it's gonna be very upsetting. So again, perfect for October. For finishing series TBR, I just have one left, and that's Kings of Crows by Lipa Bray. I was waiting until now, although it was probably among the ones that I was more eager to read, just because I have my copies in a paperback that comes from Australia, but although the cover is the same, the dimensions are different. So I think the bigger paperback version has come out, and I can find it on Book Depository, but I cannot find the one that matches my other covers. So if by any chance someone from Australia is watching this, which is highly unlikely, but if it happens, just do let me know if you know if it ever comes out, or if it has already come out, like if it's more a version of a paperback. I love the aesthetic of the books and definitely want to get my hands on that. However, I found a copy on Amazon for these, which is like £5, so I'm gonna just buy it and then probably resell it once I've read it. And this is the fourth and final book in a quartet, and it's a paranormal fantasy. It's a bunch of characters you follow, and they all have paranormal powers, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just gonna give away the one that's very upfront, and the synopsis probably is we got a girl that when she touches an object, she can see the past of the object, and she can see stuff that had happened related to the object and the owner of the object, if I remember correctly. And all the other bunch of characters have powers that you're gonna figure out once you read the series. I love it because it's very creepy, eerie. In all the 3 books, you have an overarching plot, but you also have a mystery. Usually it's a murder mystery that you have to resolve with a paranormal element in it. Loved it so far. The third one ends on a cliffhanger. I've not heard amazing things about this final one, but I'm about to find out for myself, I guess. And then I swear it's behind me somewhere. I just need to figure out where it is. It's been a long day, and I'm not gonna waste my time right now while I'm filming to find it, but it's there someplace. This is The Prisoner of Haven, and I'm gonna read this for my European TBR, where I'm going to Spain. So I'm reading the third book in a quartet by Carl Ruiz Zafón. Shadow of the Wind is the first one. It's a very popular, famous book. It's my favorite book ever. So I'm very excited about reading this one. I have to say that the second book I didn't love as much as the first one, and I'm not honestly expecting to love this as much as The Shadow of the Wind. I have yet probably to find a book that I can love more than The Shadow of the Wind, but I've heard that the third book is better than the second. So I'm eager and happy to read this. And in the first book, you basically follow this young boy who is obsessed to find what happened to an author who wrote a very peculiar book and then disappeared into nothingness. It's a historical fiction with amazing writing, with a very atmospheric Barcelona in the background, and also you have a mystery element of, you know, you finding out what happens to this author. And I love that book. I couldn't put it down. It's famous for a reason. It's one of my favorite books ever, as I said. So excited for the first one. Okay, let's finish with the jars. So first one, I've got my fantasy jars. So basically I am making my way through reading a book for each subgenre of fantasy, linking down below the videos and TBRs. And I always struggle to choose one because like I'm eager to read all of them. So I'm gonna just pick randomly one. Let's see what it is. I really hope it's not a huge one, but considering how lucky I am, Oh, okay, okay, excited about this. This is Kings of the Wild, finally, okay. I found it. Kings of the Wild. This is my pick for quest fantasy, and the quest in this is basically you've got this bunch of mercenaries that by now are fat, always drunk pretty much, and they're old and they're retired, although they were very famous, like they were the most famous one back in the days. And then one of them, or a friend of them, goes back to them and just say, you know, something very big happening, I need you to go on a mission for me. And they, I guess they cannot say no. I am not sure what the mission is. I got a hint, but I don't want this to be a spoiler or anything, so I'm not gonna say. But yeah, I am so eager to read this. This is going around like a couple of years ago, I believe. Everybody loved it. There is a sequel. I'm not sure if it's a trilogy or there are more books. I'm pretty sure 2 at least are out by now, and I hopefully love it. I think it's like gonna be full of banter, which I love in my fantasy. I'm very happy with this TBR so far. Let's see if I don't get punished with my random jar. So basically in here are all the books that you see behind me, and that are in other rooms, scattered everywhere very messily. Anyway, let's not delve into that. That are not belonging to any TBR that I had previously. So don't want to make a mess, because I mean, I just don't want to make a mess, I guess. I already did anyway. So one guy escaped, but really wants to get read, so I'm gonna grab it. And we have, okay, perfect, chemistry. Very un-Halloween read, because this is a YA romance, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go and grab it. Okay, so this is definitely not what I usually read recently. I don't read many YA. I mean, I do a couple of months, but usually not very, but usually they are not romance, although there are a couple of contemporary. I'm not making sense. Stop contradicting yourself. Anyway, this is romance, and I don't usually read romance. Usually doesn't mean never. Like, I do read romance now and then, but it's rare. Whatever. This is the story of Brittany. Brittany has a boyfriend, friends, perfect life, and then she ends up in a sort of like Twilight version where she gets Alex as lab partner, and they, I suppose, don't really like each other because Alex is a bad boy, is part of a gang, local gang, and no one really like Alex, I guess, no one in school. And I mean, from the cover you can tell where this is going, right? Alex, Brittany, probably. So yeah, let's see. It's not very Halloween, but the jar said so. He actually bumped right off of the carpet, so he really wanted to get read. So maybe it's what's gonna make me fall in love again with romance books. I highly doubt it, but who knows? Thank you for watching. I have here, well, a few books that I'm too lazy to get, so I put pictures in, and a few books that I cannot find or are on my Kindle, which actually it's mostly the books that are not here. Happy reading, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Ciao.